Chip, I have a question. Why now? That's it. Why is all this happening right now? Because over the last few days, we've seen Ripple talking about moving 3 trillion in institutional clearing on chain. Europe opening the door. RLUSD is expanding. New lending coming to the XRP Ledger. That's right. Formal verification. Hundreds of developers building on the XRPL. And honestly, none of those stories really seem connected, or are they?
Jeff, I don't think today is really about a story. I think it's more about the receipts. The story happened years ago. Hidden Road, RLUSD, Prime, Europe, XRPL developers. We've covered pretty much every one of these stories right from the beginning. But tonight's the first time, I feel like they all belong in the same conversation.
You know what? That's exactly where my head went as well. Because every time, great minds, because every time one of those announcements came out, everyone treated it like another headline. That's right. Kind of boring, mundane. Ripple launched this, Ripple partnered with them, RLUSD is now here, but nobody really stopped to ask, why are all these things happening all at the same time?
Or maybe the better question is, are they happening at the same time? Or have we finally reached the point where enough pieces are in place that we can actually see what Ripple has been building?
You know what? Exactly. Because if that's true, then payments were never really the end game. Payments were actually the entry point. And what Ripple is building right now looks a whole lot bigger than moving money from point A to point B. Ready to kick this thing off?
Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Chip, let's go right back to where we left off. There's one thing Mike Higgins said that kind of stopped me. It wasn't the 3 trillion. It was just one sentence. Let's pull the clip. We got a clip all
With
lined
the XRP Ledger and XRP in mind, right, as we're building things. And so, that's very important to the firm. And so taking the traditional, prime and clearing businesses and moving that on chain and moving that onto the ledger is definitely, directions that we're trying to move into. Just as the businesses move 24/7, stable coins are clearly needed. If our clients are then interacting with stable coins, then they need technology on their side, like custody technology. And so these are all very, very integrated, or we're in process, I should say, of continuing to integrate and adding value to the clients, because the new digital world requires custody. It requires prime brokerage from a normal infrastructure standpoint, stable coins to move those around, and a ledger, obviously, to operate these things on a blockchain. So I'd say, it really touches all parts of the business. And the broader statement I'd give, Jacqueline, is we believe at Ripple that, anything of value is getting tokenized, and that is moving on chain, right? The internet of value. And so we're trying to ensure that we are able to add value across that ecosystem that's being built out. And each of the pieces that Ripple has put together, either built organically or through acquisitions, tell that same story.
That's right. Man, Chip, you know what? This really, again, caught my attention then, and I don't know if you guys all caught it, but it wasn't just all about payments, right? He was talking about, right off the bat, he was talking about prime and clearing. And that's a really important statement.
Agreed.
So really, this is why I want to keep asking. And it was on the thumbnail also, Chip. Why now? Because when you put that together with the things that we mentioned before, and you think about Europe, RLUSD, XRPL, lending, Korea's big. It starts to feel like we're looking at something much bigger, not just another Ripple announcement. Maybe we're finally seeing how all these pieces fit together. And so, Chip, we're going to get into this deep, and I want everyone to really think about what all this really means. Welcome back to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What's going on, Chip? What's going on, OTC? Hit that like, subscribe, and if you're feeling generous and you want to feed our unruly AI, well, that's on you. Now, as you sit back and you listen, you may just be asking yourself, am I wasting my time here? No.
Hell no. Hell no, we're just getting
No.
started, Jeff. We're just getting started. The revolution has just begun. No, it's interesting to hear Mike Higgins. Now, Mike Higgins, funny because he was one of the acquisitions that came over with what was then called Hidden Road. Now it's called Ripple Prime. But one of the things, when he talked about, something really important too, and this is something we've been hearing a lot, is the tokenization. This
Mhm.
tokenization piece is big. He's talking about the importance of stable coins. Of course, you have RLUSD, but I think the big thing there was, not just about payments anymore. Early days, we heard from, I believe it was David Schwartz, and we heard from Brad Garlinghouse that was the first use case they came up, but they put a lot of focus around it. Now you're going to see it go a little bit further, a little wider. And he says, well, what's going to be important to these people, these institutions? Well, they're going to need custody. So they need all the pieces that Ripple really has, right? So,
Mhm.
and then all the things we're going to talk about tonight too, which are the builders. People are building. You've got, the idea about lending on the XRPL, and also the idea of how massive an impact Korea has on the XRPL. It is heating up to be something pretty special. A lot of stuff, cool stuff going on. And I just see that there's a lot more news coming out. Casey Craddock, if I'm saying that correctly, she heads up over there in the European side over there, but she came out with this. She said, we have preliminary approval of our CASP license, CASP license. Once fully approved, European banks, financial institutions, and fintechs will be able to access our, meaning Ripple's, end-to-end crypto set and stable coin payments infrastructure through a single regulated integration. The next wave of institutional digital asset adoption in Europe is here, and that is big, and we're hoping that
Big news.
this little bill called Clarity gets passed soon, so we'll have that kind of momentum here in the U.S. President of Ripple, Monica Long, commented that this is what compliance first looks like. Hear that, Jeff? Compliance first.
I hear
We're
compliance.
waiting for compliance in the United States. They're getting it in Europe with this license. And this is why European institutions choose to build with Ripple. Why? Because one of the things they have is compliance. When you're a big fintech, a financial institution, you saw Casey Craddock mention it, this is what's going to be key to your survival. You surely don't want to be mixing it up with the regulators, and you want to make sure that you're working with compliant companies. It's a lot easier to work with them that have all of the solutions across the board, and it's another way to sort of slide into some of the other things that they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's really big news, when we start seeing the direction of things, big announcements, big market changes. Things are really heating up across the board. This is really important, and you can't underscore it enough on how critical making sure that the licensing, the regulatory framework, all this comes into play. Now, again, like we kind of teased in the open, Ripple hasn't been sitting back for all these years and doing nothing. We've seen them really laying all the pipeline, and they've really built an amazing launch point, and this is going to propel not just Ripple, though. Ripple has done a good job for what they build, but the entire industry, those and developers that are going to be building in and around the XRPL. Man, this is the future. We're watching. Actually, if we want to look backwards in time, we're watching history being made, and this is very, very cool.
And so this is obviously through Mika, but it's funny, the CSSF, full rollout of Ripple payments across the European Economic Area, which is basically all of the EU. And it really puts Ripple in a good position. So that's pretty nice. This crypto asset service provider, the CASP, it's a license from Luxembourg's Commission de Surveillance. They like that, surveillance des secteurs financiers. Under the EU's markets and crypto assets, MiCA regulation, preliminary approval in the form of a green light letter, like to say it's forthcoming, subject to final conditions, always is. It will enable Ripple to scale regulated crypto asset services to financial institutions and businesses across how many countries? 30 across the European Economic Area. I call it the European Union. The European Economic Area, that's something new that I haven't quite heard yet, but I'm pretty sure most of the EU, it might be a little bit broader. I don't know how many countries are in the EU, but I'm guessing it's probably somewhere around 30 because I don't know where that is, but across the European, it probably could include more than are actually in there. So
too many are in the EU. So have fewer in the EU and more in the European Economic, what was it? Economic Community?
Mike says, "What's up, boys? What's up? Watch your glitches. Watch out, glitches." Yeah, we got a lot of
16
UK news
minutes ago.
today. And unfortunately, Keir Starmer
Yeah.
decided to basically give it up finally, but it doesn't matter because Andy Burnham, he's the same. He's the same dude, different glasses, same mold. You get the same guy. You're going to get Starmer 2.0, probably worse than Starmer. So it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Not sure if you guys saw
grab
it
it.
yet. Can you grab that? I don't even know what that is.
Not grab it. I have to go into YouTube to grab it and see what it is. It was just announced 16 minutes ago.
Well, that's
What
probably
is
why
it?
we haven't. That's probably why we haven't gotten it. Well, what I'll do is I'll screenshot it, and then what'll happen is I'll be able to get it because I'm on a Mac. And then if I open the screenshot up, I can actually copy that. I can actually click on it. You see that? Look at
Oh.
that. All right, let me do this. Let's look
see.
at it. Let's look at it.
Pretty fancy.
Right, so here we go. This is breaking news. That's what we like about our audience. Mike says this. Ripple, we're proud to announce that Ripple USD, RLUSD, is officially available in Japan.
Wow.
Following approval from the Japan Financial Services Agency through our partnership with the SBI Group and SBI VC official, RLUSD will be accessible to both institutional and retail users via the VC trade platform, serving as a bridge for payments, tokenization, and collateral management. With 1.7 billion in market cap and a 10-year relationship with SBI, this is a significant milestone in advancing regulated stablecoin adoption across Asia. And thanks to Mike, and thanks to all of our OTC family. You heard it here first, because they will not let something go untouched. And again, this is
Untouched.
fresh off the presses. I did catch a little bit of wind that something like this would be happening, but it's great. Of course, SBI Group, one of the big early investors in the private company Ripple. So that's great to see. It's another phenomenal one. Thank you guys for that. Really appreciate it. And there it is right there. $1.07 says it all. Sure does. It sure does. It says all of it and more. So
It's everything you need to know.
Everything you needed to know, and probably a couple that you didn't even want to know when it comes down to it. This is I actually like this statement. I want to see what you think about this, Jeff. This is Reese Merrick. Okay, Reese Merrick. He's over there. He's a Ripple guy, but he's over there. He's a senior executive officer, managing director of the Middle East and Africa. These views are his own, so this is not official Ripple statement, but I did catch my eye today. He said in 2000, the dot-com bubble was bursting and buying things online was globally negligible, estimated at maybe 0.2% of all retail sales. People simply didn't trust the web with their money yet, just as global e-commerce spent its first decade being dismissed as overhyped. It has only become a seamless daily reality with the rise of infrastructure. Of course, Jeff, smartphones have changed the game largely. Today, we look at this, he's not saying this, but you have to be smartphone first. It used to be the other way around. Remember, they had the mobile.mobi and all this stuff. They thought there were going to be a separate URL. No. You're just going to make it mobile. Today, you got to be more. See, today, globally, more than $1 out of every $5 spent on retail happens online. Seems like it's bigger than that, but that's 20% of everything purchased is online. Crypto payment quietly moving through the same slow foundational phase before inevitable mainstream normalization. You are not bullish enough. And look at this chart, Jeff. This is interesting. 2000, which doesn't seem that long ago, 26 years ago. But we were well into the internet by then. 95 came, and then we were already 6 years into it. But look at how slow. And even you go back to like 2009, Bitcoin was introduced somewhere in this area. It still was pretty non-existent, less than 1%. You figure when Bitcoin came on the scene, when the smartphones came on the scene, you had Android, you had iOS coming on the scene, 2012, still less negligible. But look at the climb from 2016 to 2018. It jumps from 5 all the way up to almost 15%. A little bit of a hike in 2020, then it kind of just slowly elevating from 2020 on. You think this would have been bigger just because that was the pandemic that happened right around 2020. It's really funny how sharp it is from 2016 to 2020. I wonder who's president then. And then the biggest hike of all should have been when people were locked in their houses, but it wasn't. It was a little bit slower, but this is the biggest hike right there. Boom. I think it's a pretty good analogy
Like it.
but I hope we get there much quicker than that. If you look throughout history, how many people it took to get to the first million users, the one that broke the mold and did it the quickest was ChatGPT. And literally over 30 days, it got to 1 million users. And it's the first time
Impressive.
ever.
Impressive.
Look at how long it took to get the first million people who owned a per computer. First million that got the internet. It took a lot longer than 30 days.
Oh yeah, things are heating up, especially if there's some form of use case, especially if it's like secret sauce use case. And I think that's how people perceive the AI. The AI was just so kind of impressive. And so here we go, and so are we going to see more rapid mass adoption as we move forward? But that's
That
a
is the
great
question.
point.
I love this comment from Dave. He's like, hell yeah, my show's on. I just crushed a good damn workout. Accumulated more today. It's a good day. Right on, Dave. Way to go, man.
It's a way to do it.
Accumulating. See, some people are scared. Dave's not. Dave's buying. Dave's doubling down, right? So he understands what a good sale looks like. When he sees something on sale, he's cool. Go, Dave.
Hey, Chip, how long is it going to take to get the first million owners of this beautiful Commodore flip phone that's launching June 30th?
Is that a real thing, Jeff?
It's a real thing. It's legit.
Not.
$640 for a flip phone. How beautiful this thing is.
It actually looks like something Trump would make because it's all gold and everything. It looks ridiculous.
Well, this is the Founders Edition right here. The Commodore 64 Founders Edition. Look at those headsets.
It's got to be parody, Jeff.
No, it's not. It's for real. The Commodore 64 is back. So they brought the Commodore 64 back.
Oh, I see. It's for old dudes, so they can pretend they're young. Get it.
Right, but then they're bringing the phone, so there's no scrolling. There's no social media. Look, no social media. Runs 99% of the apps except for social media. Flip closure, T9 style texting. Who didn't love that? Who wants the
wait? There's no doom scrolling.
T9 style texting back. No doom scrolling and T9 style texting.
4 times to through
the thing to try to type, right? Remember that high def music chip, FM radio. Who doesn't want an FM radio?
I don't want an FM.
I don't even know what that is. Do they still have FM radio? That's still a thing.
Yeah, I listen to Sirius XM. I don't even listen to radio.
Yeah, I don't know. SID chiptune ringtones. So we're going back to ringtones. So maybe we'll get the old Nokia ringtone or something like that.
So what they're saying is they want to go back to the old Nokia phone and put a new cover on it. This is pathetic.
That's it. Got worldwide network support, the Wi-Fi and hotspot.
Go to the buy page. This is a great parody. This is the best parody I've seen in a long time. No doom scrolling. There's no way we're going to
tune in and log out. Get the message. Look at that. Here's the launch video.
No, we're not watching this. The Commodore. It even looks like 1980, Jeff. Call back. This is sad.
I'm getting beat. Look how exciting. They're bringing back the 80s, the 90s.
Leave it.
Look at this.
It's a great parody. It's one of the best parodies I've seen in a long time.
Who would want a laptop or a smartphone?
Time and energy into this thing. This is unbelievable. My goodness. It's all 80s images and a spinning phone. Yeah, that's a no for me. I'm out.
Look how beautiful that is. Come on.
Oh man, I can't.
You don't want a Commodore phone? Come on.
Jumping back on the XRP Ledger.
You might even be able to trade XRP with it. I don't know.
No, there's no crypto on it either. I said no crypto, no doom scrolling. Hell no. No. XRP Ledger Foundation is excited to team up with Common Prefix. Honestly, I'm not. I like the more uncommon prefixes personally. That's Common Prefix is building blockchain and trust technologies for mainstream adoption in finance institutions and beyond. They're common. Remember, common sense used to be common. It's not so common anymore. So we're working with Common Prefix to shape the new security standards for the XRP Ledger. Upcoming formal verification, security analysis of the XRPL consensus mechanism, maintaining the payment engine spec, keeping it in sync with the XRPLD releases and monitoring changes. And how about that for a logo? That's a very good logo. I love it.
Common Prefix.
Times Roman inside of 2 brackets.
The perfect logo. Nice. XRPL Korea.
Look at that, Jeff.
Look at this. Loving XRPL Korea. Look at this. Moving to the XRPL, 270 plus builders applied. 12 finalists are taking the stage on June 25th. Oh, that's tomorrow at 2 IFC Seoul time. That's going to happen pretty soon, actually.
Yeah, I was just say it's happening in a few hours, really. I mean,
Yeah, that's man. They're already lined up. KFIP 2026 has become Korea's largest XRPL native accelerator program to date. Meet every team here.
well, look at all this that's going on in the XRPL. Like, yeah,
No,
you have to go in each one of these, but incredible. Secure Web3 infrastructure founded by Core Research is a Korean University School of Cybersecurity. You've got Blue Nomad. Blue Nomad is, I don't know what that is. Doesn't say much about it. Must be the dude that's putting that together or gal. I don't know. Then you've got Connect Fit, 0 followers. It's got 2 followers there.
Followers, yeah.
You got Dari. I don't know what that is. Ever Treasure. There's a lot of cool stuff in here.
There we
platform for art investment, empowering artists. So there's a lot of cool stuff happening. Check the finalist weekly contents. There it is right there. There's all the stuff that's going on. And then the finalists ship across 4 frontiers on finance of the XRP Ledger. Payments and effects, credit and trade finance, collateral and liquidity, and AI-powered finance.
Dude, they're so ahead.
Production grade implementation with several already operating on mainnet ahead of demo day. KFIB 2026 hosted by Seoul FinTech Lab and XRPL Korea with Ripple as a main sponsor. And like the panel, Jeff, Ripple, XRPL Korea, Hashed, Itsen Global, TOS. It's a great name for a company.
The Korea FinTech Industry Association. Look that up. Let's read it.
It is. Go ahead, take that one, Jeff.
Is it in Korean?
No.
Korean fintechs builders are gathering at XRPL. We just read this, but in a different way. 270 applied for the KFIP 2026, with 12 finalist teams holding their final presentation. We just read this on June 25th at Uedo IFC2, Korea's largest ever XRP builder accelerator program. Profiles of the 12 teams compiled on one page.
There it is.
Them. Here they are. Oh, that's we're going through that. Dairy, KYVC, SBIT. I do like the areas that they're building in. I would love to see the AI powered finance and get an understanding what they're doing.
So let's tell you a little bit more right here about them. Who's dealing with AI here? Let's see. Tokenizing. Here you go. Got KAB Labs, AI powered trade finance, auto verifies LCs and shipping documents, settles trade payments in 3 to 5 seconds.
Awesome.
You got Trixa, Passport Wallet for tourist tax-free shopping. So
key is verifying the shipping. That's really important.
Reusable corporate KYC that issues verifiable credentials. Man, there's so many great use cases here. You're like, whoa, how are they doing all this? It's crazy. But
Dave's over here. I also tax harvested today. Man, Dave is just like hyperactive here. Look at all the stuff he's going on. Dave always doubles down. Look at that. The wife's on board, sometimes hesitantly. Look at that.
Yeah, well, sometimes Dave's putting it very like his wife must be an earshot. She might be watching this. He's like hesitantly. It's a nice way to put it, Dave. Something else I wanted to get into: Soil. Have you heard of Soil, Jeff? Soil's gearing
up
heard of Soil. First application using the XRPL lending protocol. So we got a little video from Soil. It's a little bit of a demo. A bit hard to hear, but let's play this. Let's listen to this video, and we'll kind of get through it together.
Crypto Prince might never be the king.
Yeah, let's go through. This is from Soil. Then we'll come back and talk about it.
Hi guys, Piotr here. This is a presentation of how we at Soil implemented single asset vaults on the lending DevNet. Let's dive right into it. We have a few single asset vaults prepared for the sole purpose of this presentation. As you can see, we've made some deposits, so I actually own some MPT tokens right now. 2 to be exact, because we have 2 pools we deposited into, and each single asset vault emits their own MPT token. The first record here, with balance 43.6, would be this pool. Let's deposit some more to see how the numbers change and confirm we receive additional tokens after making deposit into the single asset vault. Just a heads up, a wallet pop-up won't appear right now because no wallet currently supports the lending devnet. For development purposes, we've hard-coded seeds to the wallets and we are assigning the transactions behind the scenes. Let's dive into the Explorer. Here are the...
Already off to a bad start with this black background. It's just already
Can't-
bad to a bad
Can't
start.
really see it.
I can't see it. I honestly don't know what
Trying
this
to look
does.
through it.
This is like, this is one of those demos, Jeff, that's beneath the soil. It's
specific.
So what is soil? Can we get to the bottom of it? Figure out what it is?
Well, they're going to be doing lending on XRPL, but that's what I don't understand. So they're going to put USDC, they're going to put RLUSD, and also they're going to have XRP to work through institutional lending strategies. They're working with a lot of different like third parties and stuff. I watched a little bit of the founder video. It was too long to play here. EVM and XRPL Live, part of Inkworks cohort, and it has a bunch of other stuff. But the CEO looked pretty sharp. He was talking about his experience and you know, dealing with finance and stuff. So it was pretty interesting. But this is actually much better if you get rid of that little thing at the bottom left. Turn your idle assets into yield. So what I started watching was like, how do they provide yield? Because I didn't quite get into like the actual yield part of it.
Yeah.
But 8%. Now here's what's funny, Jeff. You remember the whole holdup we heard about way going back to February about the Clarity Act was all about the stablecoin yield. I'm like, use your stable coins. I mean, so the banks are, what are you going to do? Of course you're going to use it, right? I mean,
Yeah, why can't you use it?
why can't you?
Look at the multiplier here.
The banks going to lock you off from making yield on your money.
I don't know where that's going. I don't know what it's doing.
They're probably not based in the US anyway, so.
No. But liquid APY, 8% APY. All right. Well, there you go. I can't click anything, but you got to connect your wallet first. There you have it.
Yeah,
That's
so
soil.
real credit. Yeah, and even
See if I can find something else on the site.
well,
Oh, there you
even
go.
here.
Here you go. Real yield meets real assets. Soil is the first yield protocol, delivering fixed yield on both RLUSD and XRP through vaults backed by U.S. Treasuries, private credit, and institutional loans. No algorithm, no bridge, just real world yield for real users derived from loans to hedge funds, money market funds, and U.S. T-bills. So that's how they do it, Chip.
That's exactly how they do it. So they sound like they got a pretty good intro into a lot of these larger plays, which is actually good to hear. It sounds like it's a little bit more scaled up. So it'll be interesting to watch Soil and how they you know,
so you got to get seeds. So you buy seeds, apparently, right? Seed earned, or you earn seed, which is, so your yield is paid out in seed. I think that's what it looks like.
You stake your seeds, so grow your bags with seeds. There you go. Soil. Put them in the soil and see them again. And they sprout or they don't sprout. And you're like, I just wasted good money on seeds. It's just never.
never didn't learn from Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah, never learned. Kraken, look at this. RLUSD rewards are now live on Kraken, backed 1-to-1 by USD reserves. Earn 1.75% APY, and auto earn boosted to 3.75% with Kraken.
Wait, so everybody's paying? Wait, is everyone paying yield now on stablecoin? What's happening?
Until that Clarity Act goes, I still don't know what's actually in that act. Have you heard of Brink?
Not much.
Brink is a venture capital accelerator firm that empowers game changers to solve some of the world's biggest challenges. Now, check this out. Ripple is actually working with these guys. A strong ecosystem can accelerate growth faster than founders expect. That's one of the biggest reasons startups are applying to the Brink and Ripple Hong Kong Financial Innovation Program. Beyond funding, selected founders gain access to Ripple's global ecosystem, including operators, ecosystem partners, investors, and industry relationships connected with payments and financial infrastructure. And again, we're seeing the same 4 things pop up, Jeff. What is it around? Payments and effects, credit and finance, trade finance, and AI agentic payments. Built for founders focused on practical adoption and long-term infrastructure opportunities. Applications open. It looks like they got some money behind this thing, though. I was looking into this, and looks like they've got a bunch of look at this one here. The 214 billion SBI Group launched JPYSC. That's Japan's first bank-backed yen stable coin. You got this. They commented, building a startup takes more than capital. If you're building on XRPL, this is a program. I think they got a couple $1 million available with this thing, if I saw correctly. I saw it somewhere. Must have been a link somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is, but it was somewhere. Don't know. Where was it? It's weird how you read all this stuff and you're like, oh, I was reading about this thing. And
Looking through the Senate legislative calendar number 423, which is where the Clarity Act ended up as of June 1st. So it's sitting on the calendar. Now, if I could figure out where that calendar is, that'd be interesting.
yeah, well, you know what's going to happen is like that's the US. So everyone's just going to put their foreign exchanges, and banks are going to they're never going to win. They're just not. I'm crypto rich, XRP, woohoo.
Scan.
Yeah, I remember being internet rich. It was on paper, didn't really work out so well. When it all came tumbling down, it all kind of came tumbling down pretty fast.
Oh yeah.
When now's the time, Jeff, we're gonna kind of like go into the geopolitical side of things. We'll see what's cooking over there, and we've got this from real Donald Trump. Mayor Mandami pulled through three solid communists. These three communists won yesterday, and they're like the looniest tunes you've ever seen. Like, it's hard to you think about parody. These people are they're clinically insane nut jobs. It's received loud and universal applause from the fake news media. Congratulations, Mr. Mayor. I went 16-0 last night, helping to elect wonderful American patriots, and the media doesn't say a word. Over the last 2 years, my endorsement has netted 259 primary wins and almost no losses with zero media attention. Fake news. What he's going on about here is they're saying, well, the party is now Mamdami's party because he backed these three nut jobs, right? One of them, Jeff, thinks that
nut jobs.
Thinks that the 9/11 was deserved by Americans, like they deserved it. This is who won. This is one of the people who won. They're so zany and crazy, but this is what happened when mental illness and big pharma take over. This is what happens. You get a mentally ill population, and this is kind of how it shows itself. You know.
Yeah.
He said many communists running badly in failing blue states. These votes seem to have them doing quite well against each other, though. The bad news is that history has conclusively shown that the downtrodden states that they will soon be running will only get worse.
Yeah, they don't get better.
They never get better. There's never an expectation of like things are going to look up. No, because they get dumb and dumber.
That's right. So Joe Budd said Genius Act allows stablecoin yield until it's changed in the Clarity Act. Yield on stable is law of the land.
Hey, so you turn into crypto and you earn in your crypto. So what?
Yeah,
it's a little more volatile.
Then Vincent was saying this is a fucking disgrace. This piece of shit mayor. Great idea. Bring more useless piece of shit in to run the ship into the ground. That's basically it. Keep destroying New York City. New York City is going to be a cesspool. It's already moving in the wrong direction. It has been for a while. But you know what the beauty of it is? The icing on the cake is the brain drain. I can't wait to see the brain drain coming out of New York City. The money drain. It's going to be like it's going to be like when you pull the plug off the tub and it's a slow drain, and then all of a sudden you get to that point where it's like, and then you hear that sucking sound in the tub. It's like
they're going to wonder what happened.
That's going to be the end of New York. They're going to wonder what happened. They're going to watch it as it's happening. That's the beauty of it.
They deserve everything. They deserve. Listen, when you import the third world, you become the third world. One of Trump's greatest all-time quotes, and you can see it happen in the UK. You can see it happening throughout Europe. You can see it happening in parts in the US. You become the third world. There is no assimilation. There's simply let's go back to the Stone Ages. And let's go back to, times where, and where you didn't have modern restrooms, you just pissed and shit wherever you wanted to. That's kind of how it turns into.
Boy, that's what happens in a lot of parts of the world. It's kind of crazy.
And pretty much. And one of the kind of things that came out of this, which is these stats are actually pretty interesting. If you look at these stats here, let me try to cue these up. Let's see. Yeah. So I don't know who this guy is. In Zegabe, whatever, says if you want to know why the socialists are winning New York, it's because New York is already a failed socialist welfare state. 42% of New York City residents are on Medicaid. 1 out of 5 are on food stamps. 1/3 live in rent stabilized apartments. 1 out of 20 living in public housing. 1 of 4 work for either the government or a government funded nonprofit. New York City has government budget larger than Florida. Get the New York City.
New York City, not
Then
New
all
York
of
State. New York City, yeah.
New York,
New York State.
New York State has a budget larger than Texas and Florida combined, and it's a shithole. The city has fallen, the state has fallen, the lunatics are in charge. The only question is, when do they run out of other people's money?
Soon, it's happening.
That was Margaret Thatcher's favorite line: is that socialism's great until you run out of other people's money. A phenomenal quote. And like Elizabeth Warren's been on the warpath. She has been going a little bit crazy lately, Jeff.
Jim D said he's waiting for the real estate to be destroyed. Maybe it's part of the plan because he wants to start buying some big properties over there.
Well, that's what they're going to do. That's what
exactly
this is the plan. You run it down, run it in the crap, you buy all the stuff, and you rebuild it up again. But you can't have the animals there, though. The animals are going to just destroy it, burn it down. So, Elizabeth Warren's been on a warpath about her housing bill. And so Donald Trump said the Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren-centric housing bill, which is of minor importance compared to the lower interest rates and even FISA, pales in comparison to passing the Save America Act. That is what Americans, both Democrats, Republicans, and everyone else care about. Get the bad Republicans to approve it, or better yet, care about it. Get the bad Republicans, the bad Republicans, we call them the rhinos, terminate the filibuster and approve it, and everything else Republicans have ever dreamed of. The Democrats will do it in hour one. 100%. Republicans will feel very stupid if they don't do it first. I'll be watching with tears in my eyes. President DJT.
Yeah. The Democrats. Dummy craps.
The Dummycrats. Well, one thing I can appreciate about Trump is he's pretty funny, Jeff. He does say some funny things, and it's always off the cuff too. Here is Trump. Yeah, Chris Wright was trying to get something out. Something of, I don't know what he's talking about, 120 years, but Trump kind of silenced them. Here we go.
Thank you, Mr. President. So 141 years ago, Albert Einstein, 121 years ago, Albert Einstein published a paper.
Nobody cares.
Good point.
I never go back. And usually they won't catch you. But go
Published a paper.
He starts smiling. He goes. He smiles. And look at. Nobody cares.
Albert Einstein published a paper.
Nobody cares.
Good point.
I never go back. And usually they won't catch you. But go ahead.
Published a paper on the photoelectric effect, recognizing the quantum behavior.
It's true.
Nobody cares.
It's true. It's true.
They give zero. They give zero shits. They don't care. They really don't. You imagine they got oh jeez. And it's funny because all that went down in Minnesota against the AG and the governor. Of course, a liberal judge is trying to get it, knocked down and thrown away and hidden. Turns out
That's all they do.
Another nut job liberal judge, Jeff. Shocker,
There's
right?
Too many of them. Too many activist judges. They really need to be removed from office, because they're there to be impartial. They're judges, but yet you can see the slant they come in with. You can see the activism they come in with. They need to be removed. We got it. That's when we get to the local politic level. That's where it all begins. You got to clean up the cesspool at the local level. Got to do the federal. Federal can happen, but the local politics, whether it's town politics, school board, city council, whatever that level, you just got to start at the grassroots and work through it. You get to your county level, then you get to the state level. You start looking through the judges. You got to get rid of them across the board.
100%.
It's really, really important.
You know that Jagoff Ro-Khanna out in California.
He's still around
So-
too.
So he came out with a statement saying that Elon Musk is directly responsible for killing millions of children.
Oh yeah.
So then Elon said, "Great, I'll see you in court." and then Kana said, I was only joking. Let's just sit down and let's talk about this. I'm not interested in any of this stuff, but here's the clip right here. Look at this. This is before and after.
Accountability for Elon Musk. He needs to be subpoenaed. He needs to face investigation. He needs to answer for what he did with Doge.
It's just sad to me that Elon Musk, who's held himself as this champion of free speech, is afraid to debate me. If anything, I would have a better claim for defamation, but I don't believe in filing lawsuits and lawfare. I believe in free speech.
Oh, now they believe in free speech. They really don't believe in free speech unless it benefits them, do they? They're not really free speech people, Jeff. But it's something like that, then I guess it's okay.
I like this. I want to thank whomever named the Genius Act after me, DJT.
Jeff, look, can I just remind you of how close we were, how very close we were to having a mentally ill, unstable human being in the White House? Where Miss Word Salad herself, Kamala Ding Dong, she was on with Don Lemon, another dim bulb, right? He's so bad he got kicked off CNN. It's really difficult to do. Can you tell me what she's saying here? Because I have no idea what she's talking about.
I really truly believe this. We each have light inside of us. And we need to know that that is what inspires our hope as much as anything external to ourselves. And when we feel that and not allow an election or an individual to dampen that light, and instead let that light kind of carry us, in particular through moments of darkness, that we not only act.
Even Don Lemon can't hold back. He's got the "what you talking about" with his face. He goes, "What the f are you talking
going on over here?"
He's like trying to keep he doesn't know what she's talking about.
On that hope, but we inspire that hope in each other. And in particular at this moment, it is so important that we not only have hope, but that we understand that that should be a verb.
You should never be anywhere near the White House. I
Be
mean,
a
my
verb.
God, the fact you were vice president
What?
it's supposed to be a hope is a verb. Was she trying to bring back the hope and change by Obama?
I think so.
Jim D says lightheaded is not the same substance. Mike says word salad stoner, make it stop. Yeah.
Make it stop. Make it
Really?
stop.
Really is a nut job.
Stop
Jeff.
the torture.
Every single she's physically there's something mentally off about her. Elon Musk put this out, and I have to say it's one of the best videos I've seen in a long time. Now it's AOC and one of his rockets, and couldn't be more brilliant of any piece of video. Watch this, guys.
We are about to enter a political period that will have
He's talking, and all you can hear this is great.
We are about to enter a political period that will have
I had to turn it on for a while, but my God, is that a good video, Jeff? It's one of the best videos I've seen in a damn long time, man. And what's really funny when you think about the left and the right, the rich and the poor, David Friedberg made a really good point here, Jeff. Very succinct, great point. Why don't you listen to this? I want to hear your feedback on this one.
Lie is that there are two sides to the society, that is the rich and the poor. And the great truth is that there are two sides that are the makers and the takers. The lie is that the rich are unfairly rich and the poor are unfairly poor. And therefore the poor must take from the rich. But the truth is that it's the takers that tell you that lie. That the real truth is that artists, plumbers, electricians, woodworkers, computer scientists, people that build, people that make shit from all walks of life, all income levels, all wealth brackets are the makers. And the takers are what Sachs calls this intelligentsia, the analysts, the espousers the armchair mechanics, the critics, the commentators, the politicians, they are the takers. They are the people that watch the rest of society make stuff, build stuff, specifically doing things that create value for other people in society. That's what a maker is. Tell my kids this lesson all the time. I say, what did you guys make today? They tell me something they made, and I'm like, did someone else value it, or did you make it just for yourself? At the end of the day, if you made something and someone else valued it, you were a maker. That was an amazing achievement. That is a great day. Whether you make a piece of art, whether you build a house, whether you write a piece of software, whether you build a business, whatever you make, if you're a maker and someone else values it, they become your customer in some way, they become your partner in some way, you've done something valuable. Those are the true engines of progress for humanity. And the takers are the ones that tell the lie that it's rich versus poor, because what they want to do is rip apart the makers. And they want to tell everyone you got to be on one side or the other. And they use that lie to get everyone to line up against each other and to give themselves ultimately the control to form the great American Politburo, which is what they're trying to create. That is what's underway right now. And that is the fundamental great truth and great lie that we're kind of fighting against at this moment.
What's Jeff?
It's interesting concept, because when you really break it down, man, it's really deep, but it's important. Then it's an important lesson, that he's given his kids too. What are you doing to enrich society? Not just, and I like that, because the analysts, professors, the ones that just want to sit back and pontificate. Oh wait, we're doing a podcast, but no,
are takers, Jeff?
No, I don't think so.
Making
so we're making content. We're creating something of value. We're bringing information. We're dissecting information down to give opinion and allowing others to have a platform to come and hang out and talk. So that's a making environment. But it's really important. This is the benefit overall. The growth within. And I like also because it crosses all wealth classes. As soon as the quote unquote intelligentsia, or whatever you want to call them, they put in wealth warfare, and you still want to pit people against each other because of that you start fragmenting society, because then you start getting jealousies, and you can start cutting society based off of that, versus, and as they sit back and they're manipulating society. And we see it across the board, the manipulation of the people, and through spreading. There you go. Yes. Atlas shrugged. But we see this so much, Chip. It's amazing to me, through the media, the way the media does everything they can to hyper focus on a microcosm ill within society, and they magnify it to a point where you believe that this is what's happening everywhere, where it becomes systemic, or they whitewash and cover up the corruptive nature that's actually existing, and then they want to punish those that try to reveal it. That's also very telling, where they're doing everything they can to make sure you don't reveal it, or they're taking away your freedoms of speech, and they twist the narratives, and it's always a manipulation. That's amazing. Could have a whole,
Elon Musk, look what he's done. He's just launched a rocket. He brings it back, catches it, reuses it. He's putting neural implants in people that have ALS that are still able to communicate, even though they can't talk anymore because they're using their brains. He's doing all this neural stuff. He's doing the Boring Company. He's putting tunnels under and making travel more efficient. He's doing all this amazing stuff. He's got the Tesla electric cars. The guy just keeps winning, and they're just losers. If you had a society truly run by I don't care, everything from the Labor Party to, let's say the Democrats all over the world, you would just have one truly effed up society. You can see what's happening in the UK right now, and it's largely influenced by pretty much labor. This makes me happy, Jeff. This is FBI Director Kash Patel says Ibrahim Khaldoon Hilmi is charged with one of the biggest Medicare scams in history, allegedly orchestrating a massive $3.7 billion scheme to defraud Medicare. He's been on the run since May of 2025, but we got him. Thanks to the outstanding work from the FBI Miami, the Justice Department, and our partners in Turkey, Hilmi was apprehended overseas after a foreign transfer of custody. He's back in the U.S. to face justice. Just another massive win for the FBI's war on fraudsters with the White House task force led by VP Vance, and a monumental victory for the Trump administration, showing any criminal actor who steals from the American taxpayer will be caught no matter where they try to hide. Especially thanks to Ambassador Tom Barrack, who continues to be an invaluable partner to us. But there's the dope right there. He thought he was home free. He thought he was in Turkey. No, extradition. Now, boom, they're perp walking him right there. Comes off the screen, a big old monster. Enjoy. Don't drop the soap in prison. That's all I'm going to say, boys. Even the boys who do bad things aren't going to take kindly to you, my man. It ain't going to go down well. And of course, VP Vance chimed in with that as well. He said the $3.7 billion fraud scheme, one of the biggest. He said the fraudster fled to Turkey. Thought he was home free, Jeff. But they brought him. So it's great. How phenomenal is that? I love to see this kind of stuff. You know, there's so much fraud going on. This one, holy smokes.
They're going after it so aggressively.
Look at this. Jaw-dropping healthcare fraud bust totaling $6.5 billion in Medicare, Medicaid, and other programs. We charged how many, Jeff? We heard there's no fraud. 455 defendants across 56 U.S. attorneys' offices.
Amazing.
45 U.S. states and territories. So
there you go.
You're saying there's only 5 states that have people that haven't been charged yet? Is that what we're saying?
Right.
As alleged in various indictments, these individuals participated in healthcare fraud schemes involving over $6.5 billion in fraud claims. On one indictment, we're bringing charges against a corporate executive in Arizona in connection with over
$1 billion.
Corporate executive. I wonder, does he work for an insurance company? I'm just curious. They didn't say which corporate executive he was, but how amazing is that? And Jeff, you know what? It's not good to be Antifa these days, because when you F around, you find out. Well, these ones F'd around. Antifa members behind the anti-ICE terror plot in Texas received 450 years in prison. Take a look at those cases, because they'll never be seen by humanity again. They're going away. They're going to the big house forever, Jeff.
45 years apiece. Man.
They're all convicted. One guy got 100 years himself.
Oh, really? One guy got 100 years?
Years are going away. And of course, wasn't on our watch, but Keir Starmer, one of the most inept prime ministers of all time. I love GB News, because I think GB News totally nailed it in this report. But if you guys don't know this, I'm sure just everyone does know it, but it's not going to change anything. You got this new guy on the sidelines. He's Starmer 2.0. It's the same stuff. Now, it's not like in the U.S. where, the parliamentary system is just broken. Have your revolution, reset it, write your own constitution that gives you free speech and a right to defend yourselves. Because if you had a right to defend yourselves, you wouldn't be going through this crap right now.
Prime Minister in British history has resigned. Keir Starmer goes in disgrace, but Britain is in big trouble. Here is Starmer announcing his resignation.
Every decision I've taken has been about putting the country I love.
Jeff, why are these guys so weak? Why does he look like a woman?
Sounds weak.
Do they have any testosterone in their bodies? I mean, is there any people over there? I know who's doesn't mess around. He's in our chat. I don't know if he's still here, but this is messed up. Why are they such sissies? Why are they like they're soy boys? I mean, just look at this guy. He's got a cardigan on. Like, dude, you're not Mr. Rogers. You know what I mean? Look at this guy. What is he? Is that a suit? Is it a cardigan? I don't know what he's wearing right there.
I think it's a suit. I don't think it's a cardigan.
I mean, he looks like a Muppet. My God. Really, Jeff?
Rachel Maddow.
He's like a Rachel Maddow doesn't look this bad. I mean, shit.
First. That is why I will resign as leader of the Labour Party.
And this went down very well with the British public when they played it out in pubs across the country.
Has been about putting the country I love first. That is why I will resign as leader of the Labour Party.
Yes, he went on to try to list his achievements.
Look at what we've achieved in just 2 years. An economy that is stronger, growing faster than our peers. Wages rising faster than inflation in every single month since we came to power. Investment secured, infrastructure being built, an end to austerity.
Austerity?
the hell's he talking about?
That bloke
Does that
has got
even
more
mean-
front than Katie
And
Price.
cars there.
The economy is in the toilet. We've got record youth unemployment. Hundreds of thousands of people have lost their jobs because of him, and he is an absolute joke on the world stage.
Yeah.
Where's the United Kingdom? Where's Russia? Where? Come here.
Oh my
Is
God.
everything going?
This is great because he humiliates him. He thinks he's going to talk or say something, and he just watches. He turns his back. This is the greatest ever.
Good? Very good. That's very nice that you're here. These people all came in like 20-minute notice.
But this is the bit that got me.
And when I leave the biggest job in the country, I shall spend more time on the most important job, being the best husband I can to my fantastic wife, Vic, who has been a rock by my side through good times and bad.
Oh, he nearly cried there. He didn't cry after Southport. He didn't cry over Henry Novak. He didn't cry about Rhiannon White. He didn't cry over the Pakistani rape gangs. He didn't cry for farmers or for pensioners or for pub landlords or for children who've had their education ripped away from them thanks to his spiteful VAT hike on private schools. He didn't cry over the horrific attacks on the Jewish community. No, he just cries for himself. Goodbye, good riddance. And good riddance, this horrible little man as well. Starmer's great mate and the Attorney General Lord Hermer, always on the wrong side of history. I believe this man detests all the best things you think our country stands for. Now we can get back to doing what he does best, representing jihadis, people linked to the IRA, and helping to bring prosecutions against innocent, brave British veterans. Get lost. Look at the way the establishment media fawned over him. Kay Burley, I expected more from him. Why? Why did you? You didn't bother to hold him to account at all when he got elected. You probably voted for him. Like Paul down Boris Johnson over Partygate, but didn't seem to care about the unrelenting shower of scandal oozing out of Downing Street for the last 2 years. It takes huge restraint to give a speech as dignified as that. Oh, jog on.
Well, let's go ahead and put that up there. Let's see let's see what made this guy really resign. Who put that one up there? You just had up there. You think it's one guy? This is the guy that oversaw the 250,000 young British women that got raped and then buried the report. The report that came out, he didn't resign when his party got hammered in the election. No, that wasn't enough. But when the rape report, I don't know, you guys go read it, go look at it. You can't get through it. It's the most vile, disgusting stuff that these men did to these little girls, 12 and 13 years old, and 250,000 of them, 97% of them were Muslims. Okay. So who was behind it? Who was in charge of that at the time? Oh, Keir Starmer. That's why. This is why he's resigning. They don't talk about that. It was this report came up, and all of a sudden he's resigning because he needs to hang for what he did to those poor girls that will be crushed for the entire life. And if you got daughters, this should bother you tremendously. And if you want, go read it because it'll turn your stomach. It's that disgusting.
Seriously, just jog on. Starmer's speech was interrupted by the utter nuisance Steve Bray with his giant speakers.
Ripping out the poison of anti-Semitism, restoring trust on the economy, defence and national security.
But what was playing was actually Ode to Joy for a while, and Keir Starmer said that was his favourite song. So I don't really see what the problem is there, to be honest. After Starmer resigned, this happened.
Andy Burnham is just arriving into Euston now. He's got a lot of people to meet and a lot of people to talk to.
Andy Burnham got a train from Manchester to London, riding in like Lenin, travelling from exile in Switzerland to Mother Russia to lead the revolution. Then this happened. West Streeting, yes, West Streeting, decided to back Andy Burnham to be Labour leader. So it looks like there'll be no contest. More on that in a minute. Andy Burnham arrived in London, which must have been awful for him because he's northern.
Wasn't that funny that it's a page right out of the Democrat book, right? So you get the back. There'll be no contest. Sounds familiar, like Kamala Harris was just anointed that she's going to be running. No primary. I know it's a different system, but they're not even going to compete for the job. Not that anybody in Labor is going to make much of a difference, but the whole idea that it's no contest is shocking. You want to see a bigger, this other guy, it's hard to tell who's like a bigger soy boy than this guy. And this guy couldn't even win. He barely won his district. You know, he's such a loser. You look at his stats. How is this guy going to be prime minister?
He just likes the North. He just likes chips and gravy, polo tops with jeans and trainers. Then Andy Burnham found a suit, which again just must have been awful for him. Perhaps he just dusted off an old Armani number from his wardrobe and he was sworn in.
Rome is saved.
Look at Starmer 2.0.
Yes, Rome is saved, someone shouted. Look at this. All the Labour MPs there.
Geez, last time I remember, I think Rome Empire was destroyed, Jeff. I mean,
grinning like Cheshire cats behind Burnham. Oh, please, sir, please, can I have a cabinet position? Oh, I love you, Andy. Oh, the King in the North, yay. Andy Burnham has won 0.03% of the national vote. 24,947 people have just elected our new Prime Minister, probably. We've had 7 Prime Ministers in 10 years. These are numbers that tin pot third world African countries would look at and go, oof, bit dodgy that, isn't it? This is Downing Street. A revolving door of mediocrity, misery and incompetence. And we, the British public, are the victims. This isn't democracy. What we're going to see in Britain in the coming days and weeks is not democracy. At least Liz Truss was actually in cabinet when she became PM. Labour manufactured a by-election and parachuted in a bloke who has tried and failed to become Labour leader twice already, who has a bad record in government, and they're going to let him stand unopposed by the looks of things, so nobody gets
I become Labour leader twice, didn't make it. Sounds like the perfect guy you want to make prime minister.
to scrutinise what he actually stands for or what his policies are.
That's why.
Speaking of fall
You
guys,
can lay down, you can push them around. Makes it so much easier.
you know. Well, the problem with the UK is you got two parties. You got the left party, which are the Tories. You got the ultra left, or the Labour. You got two losing solutions. You never have a solution. Watch these clips. So tell me if you think about these clips here, Jeff, about Starmer.
Tampon degree.
Well, it's not about.
It's too funny.
Well,
I mean, it's so sad.
Every decision I've
that's really
taken
funny.
has been about putting the country I love first.
Like an email.
That is why I will resign as leader of the Labour Party.
He looks like an email. Look at him. He's all in the garb.
Every decision I've taken has been about putting the country I love first. That is why.
You gotta love it when he's done. And then this one here, Churchill. How about this one? Churchill comes by, his dog takes a look. Churchill taking out the trash. And how about this one, Jeff? They took a what was going around the internet for a while there, but a little parody and made a fun little video out of it.
Leave.
In a second, that's not the one I wanted. I'm missing here. What am I missing here? Where's my
Where'd the funny stuff go?
where is it?
Like funny videos now.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here we go.
Nothing beats this wanker leaving office, and right now everyone is fucking happy. This tyrannical two-tier bastard is now known as 2-year Keir. The entire fucking world is celebrating, but don't forget, his replacement is just as big a wanker. Grab the popcorn, hide your children's, because changing Starmer for Andy is like changing your shirt after you shit yourself. Ministry of Wit out.
Changing your shirt after you shit yourself. That's pretty much it. That might be the best thing that I've heard in a long time, Jeff. But this guy right here, this guy who's clergy, listen to his dire warning. And I 100. We've been saying this on here. I've been saying it all along. This is your only chance.
Leave. We're on the verge of another Cromwellian level event in the United Kingdom.
Explain what that means to Americans.
So we had a huge civil war started by the fact that Oliver Cromwell and King Charles.
This guy's name is Bishop Dewar. He's the angelical bishop, the angelical church. And this guy's saying, listen what he says here.
Charles I came to blows over the rule of Parliament, and Charles I still pushed for that supreme power of the monarch. Oliver Cromwell and his associates pushed for the sovereignty of Parliament, and ultimately they convicted the king of treason and beheaded him. That moment for us as a constitutional monarchy was a very, very dark moment in our history, because the country went through years of civil war between the king's forces and the people's army under General Cromwell. And ultimately, Cromwell himself became a dictator when he took over Parliament. So we're on that precipice. You can feel it's palpable in this country that civil war is not just foreseeable. You know, we've got high-ranking retired military officers now talking about civil war is now inevitable in the United Kingdom. And if it happens, it's going to be fought largely on a sectarian principle, because I think the greatest pushback is going to be, you know, British citizens of every faith fighting against this Islamic agenda, and a well-armed, well-equipped Islamic force that seems to be being prepared. I've just whilst I was waiting to come on the show now, I've just found out what used to be a holiday camp is now being prepared to have another 3,000 illegal immigrants put into it, and it's being kitted out to look like an army barracks. 3 weeks ago, I was on the streets of Liverpool with an organization called the Liverpool Guardians, and I saw for myself, even now, with the grooming gang scandals going on, there are still gangs of Islamic males patrolling the streets of Liverpool, looking for victims to sexually abuse and to rape, and using taxis and shops that sell these, you know, these vape cigarette things and all of this lot to actually perpetrate this agenda, because they believe it is their religious right.
Well, it's their religious right to decimate and conquer, right? This is the whole point. But because of all the soy boys over in the UK, they can do nothing.
Look at this. Well,
Nothing about it.
This is
They have no.
like good old British chaps there. Sure, just going up for a pint. Sure.
What is this?
It's hard to believe it.
You gotta take this shit back to wherever it belongs. It doesn't belong in Western civilization.
Western civilization, period. Go back to killing yourselves, destroying yourselves in your own shithole countries. Behead each other.
Why all their countries are so shitty, you know?
Right. They want to go somewhere. I always want to go to Christian nations and conquer. This is Jeff. This is what's going to happen after the Brits go home after witnessing the World Cup in America. Look at this.
But I thought you loved beans and toast.
No, not anymore.
I just don't understand why we can't have free refills in the UK. It's not like the technology doesn't exist. Ranch dressing.
Technology.
Do you have it?
Ranch dressing.
Hans, why is everything here in children portion?
It's always been this way.
Mayonnaise, sour cream, buttermilk. Now for the herbs.
I love it.
Herbs.
They, for some reason, they're in love with ranch dressing.
They love ranch.
I just don't understand why we can't have free refills in the UK. It's not like the technology doesn't exist.
Technology.
It is funny. The technology for free refills.
He's like, he had like 2 or 3 because he could have them. And then finally we'll send it off.
It doesn't cost you anything. It costs, what does it cost? Like 10 cents to fill up a large soda.
Yeah.
And they sell them for $1 or
it's like
$1.50.
Then here's a little ditty with Trump and the gang here, sounding a little Beatlesque here. Look at this.
Pack your shit and leave. Nobody wants such a pathetic wanker as their prime minister. You are a disgrace to your country and a traitor.
There's the new guy.
Good parody. That was a good one.
That was
a good one. And well, say goodbye to one and say hello to the other one, and business as usual, and more oppression and stuff. Look, you either take back your country or you don't.
Or you don't.
You have a revolution and have a chance to write your own constitution that is written by the people and not by the government. Tell the government what it can and cannot do. 250 years it's been around. It's coming up on its 250th anniversary. You guys better wake up. Parliamentary system doesn't work. Time to change it.
You guys should liberate the UK.
Should liberate the UK. No.
it's a good start.
Let them deal with it themselves, man. Well, that's all the time we got, Jeff. Anything
So,
before we?
on that note, the UK people over there they got the talent. They can make it happen. Or you
Power,
can just
man.
keep importing the cesspools of the sun. Revolution,
baby. Let's go. And that's it. We'll guys see you back here on Saturday. I hope you guys all caught the phenomenal interview that we had. Our most successful interview to date with Hugo from Flair. That was fantastic. He was a really good sport. It was a great interview. Fun, enjoy.
It was so great talking to him. A lot of times when you do interviews on tech, you don't get a lot of post view. Crushed the algorithm, set it up. Lots of people interested in Flair. Did really well. A lot to learn, a lot more to do in the future. But Chip will be back Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you like the show, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. If you aren't, make sure you like it, like the video, subscribe to the channel, all those cool things that are going to help boost the algorithm. And remember, spank the wanker.
There you go. Thank you, one person still watching. We love you. We love you all. And that's it, guys. See you on Saturday. Chip and Jeff. Ow!
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.